Hello Reformers and welcome back to A Clash of Kings. Now we have Mr. Apple himself right here. Yeah, I just noticed that he actually has an apple on his little banner in the front there. So that, I thought, a tabard. Yes, the tabard. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, so Brian Fossaway is right here and we're going to be taking him on. Now, of course, he has a much lesser army than what he had previously because we've actually beaten him before. Well, technically I have because it was off screen while we were waiting at Storm's End to find out what was actually going on with it, whether I had claimed it or anything like that. So yeah, obviously that is a thing, because I personally feel like he's a pretty decent vassal. But obviously at the time he had about 89 units and he has 56 here. He does have dismounted Reachman Squires, and I gotta say that maybe they're gonna be pretty difficult for us, but who knows, I mean, here's the thing. I kind of want to do the thing where we only use the current faction's units that we're currently a part of, and so that means that I am doomed to use Dragonstone units, which is something I'm not really wanting to do for sieges, because quite obviously they are not suited for it. You know, we've seen that in the previous episode quite blatantly, that they are, to put it politely, just utter trash. They really are. They are not very good at, you know, doing their thing and not getting arrows in the face all the time. Now, these guys are actually it's kind of hilarious to see these guys with their huge spears and pikes and so on and so forth trying to poke me in the face. But yeah, anyway, point is, the Dragonstone Halberdiers and indeed their units are not really suited for sieges. So which other faction's units are we going to be using? That's the question now. Because obviously we are still going to be using a couple of Reach, really? Come on now. Dragonstone units, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. I do know that, I have heard, should I say, that the lesser units, the levies, as far as I'm aware, the levies that you initially get from recruiting from villages and things of Dragonstone, they're actually pretty good. They have, apparently they have an arming sword. I've heard that they have an arming sword, and they also have some pretty decent gear and so on and so forth. So obviously they're probably going to be a pretty decent unit to place in garrisons and things like that. However, I'm thinking to myself, maybe, would they be a good unit to use for a siege offensive? Because obviously it really depends on their armor. Maybe their armor is too bad, or whatever the case may be. Maybe their armor is just not good enough for it. But as far as I'm aware, they do have shields, which is a much bigger step up than the Halberdiers and what they currently have. So, something to think about, I suppose. I mean, we could go for that, or we could, because I guess what that would do is that would enable us to have an army of Dragonstone units, so we keep with our theme, shall we say, but it would also give us a pretty decent enough army to be able to actually do something in terms of a siege, because at the moment we're not really able to do anything, which is, in my opinion, kind of sad. And that's the reason why I've always said in sieges where the opponent was Dragonstone, I've just been like, oh, this is going to be easy, that kind of thing. But anyway, let's just take as much loot as we can, because these things actually sell for a huge amount, which is really nice. And that's the reason why I wanted to actually start recording here, because he was right next to Tumbleton, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe he's going to start besieging it. And if he had, then that would have been great. But anyway, we're going to be gaining 1,260 coins here. I have literally no food. Wow, really? Come on now. Okay, well, I'm going to be gaining, I guess, almost 1,000 then, because, you know, food is quite expensive, apparently. Anyway, let's see what else we can gain here. Are there any other... Oh, we have some Reachman crossbowmen, but obviously I'm not going to be taking those. Alright, so let's just see here for a second. Who are we allied with? Who is Dragonstone allied with? I don't actually think we're allied with anyone, to be honest. Are we? Oh, okay, so we are technically kind of allied with the Riverlands and the North, and that might actually be pretty good, because the Riverlands, while they are not particularly effective at actually killing things, they do have blunt weapons. And blunt weapons are generally much shorter in terms of their reach. In terms of their reach. The reach, yes, exactly. You get it. Anyway, point is, it's probably a good idea for us to try and get some Riverlands units. But I'm thinking that I don't even know. I mean, do I go back to Storm's End? Yeah, okay. I'm going to go back to Storm's End and place a couple of units in here. Nimbly regain your balance. You've gained 1 agility. Yes. Yes, finally, we've actually gotten one of those, because it's been a long time since we lost that strength and agility from that event. I know a number of you actually suggested that I just change the stats back, but I never did that. I just never got around to it, or just forgot about it, or whatever. Oh, is this guy actually going to want to attack me? Oh my, he has some really good units. Look at that. Do you think we can actually fight him? I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. He has a lot of knights. And that is obviously going to be maybe not even that difficult because we have so many halberdiers. Alright, let's do it. Why not? Let's try. He's the one that owns Storm's End? Are you serious? Oh, okay, well, I guess considering most of the Stormlands vassals have defected and Renly himself is dead, you know, that kind of makes sense. Anyway, the battle advantage is 0, which is quite rare, because usually we will either have a massive advantage, or we won't have, you know, too much of an advantage, and it will just be like -3 or something along those lines. But in this case, it's completely even. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so how many... We have quite a few halberdiers. Now let's just see if I can get a... I can get ranks. I can get a shield wall. It's not really that good. Okay, what about weapon orders? Well, obviously they're already using pole arms. What about attack orders? That's not really good. Oh, brace pole arms. There we go. That's exactly what I'm looking for right there. All right, so let's just get everyone to a reasonable position. These guys aren't moving either. That's very perplexing, because you would assume that they're quite confident in their abilities to attack us, because obviously... Oh, I actually hit something, even though it was a horse. Because they do have a huge amount of knights, and those knights, they're going to be really difficult for us to deal with. So, that is a bit difficult. Okay, so let's see. Can I actually kill some of these guys, or at least do a little bit of damage to them? Apparently not. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit. That guy has a shield now. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Let's get these guys up here, and okay, this is going to be a bit annoying, because, okay, brace pole arms. Yeah. Okay. This is really not going to work out. Oh, there you go, there you go. Okay, so we're bracing for... Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so they're bracing for it. Now, this is where it would be great to have a separate, shall we say, troop tag. And it would be great if we had a troop tag that was spearmen, you know, because at the moment we just have infantry, archers, cavalry, so it's not really helping us out too much. Let's tell them to stand a little bit closer. And that's... Ooh, look at that. Kill the horse instantly. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's tell the infantry and the cavalry to charge. We're going to have to get the archers back here. Oh, they're attacking they're attacking the cavalry. That's not very good, is it? Okay, well, I guess because we did take out quite a few of them in the initial charge, I suppose that's pretty good. And these halberdiers are actually really good at dealing with cavalry, so I'm pretty happy that we have an overabundance of them now, but now we also have a bit of a problem fighting them on the ground. Because while they may be good against cavalry, I don't know how good they are against actual infantry, so that's obviously a big problem. But at least if we can get there and kill them all, then that's all I can ask for. Kill them all, yes. Whoa, we've actually got some pretty powerful units here. I'm getting shot in the back now, which is not very nice. Yes, I'm helping you, halberdier. Yes, exactly. Okay, everything seems to be going quite well. Oh, we've lost 39 already. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that we had lost so many so quickly, you know? Oh, wow. Okay, so I guess I could just bring out my crossbow and try and headshot these guys a little bit. They're going to be a little bit annoying. Hopefully. Oh, nice. Okay, we did it. Not as annoying as I thought. Alright, so this is the time where we want to get our people over here. And the archers are now finally returning from destroying the cavalry division, which I find absolutely hilarious. Sending paper to destroy scissors. That's basically what I just did, so yeah, great. Okay, well that guy's dead, at least. Okay, so let's have a look at the map. Ooh, okay, they're coming for us. I think we've eliminated most of their cavalry already, so we don't need to worry about them too much. I only have 2 cavalry remaining, but I wasn't really intending the cavalry to survive that much, because in the grand scheme of things, cavalry is very expensive, and most of the time I don't really have enough money to really fund them, so yeah, having them perish in battle is probably the most glorious death that they could hope for. We could just, you know, hope that they're Klingons or something along those lines, yes. We're just going to pretend that they're Klingons. So, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to save you, peasant. Yes, there we go. Stormlander Vanguard. No, don't get killed, peasant. There we go. There we go. Keep slashing away, Elias. That is what we want you to do. And I think everything's going well. I'm actually very surprised, because I thought to myself, yeah, the cavalry is certainly going to make a big difference to how effective they are. Nice headshot right there. Maybe I can headshot this guy as well before he kills that other halberdier. Yes. Not bad. And is there someone actually over there? Yeah, there is. Oh, he was dead. Okay. He got killed by a freelancer longbowman. Very nice. Alright. So, let us hold position once again. Across the river, and we will await our opponent while I shoot them with my crossbow skills. Yes, my very good crossbow skills. Actually, oh, not bad. I actually hit someone. Amazing. They have a lot of vanguards. Are these vanguards actually? Yeah, they have a lot of vanguards, and they're obviously not as good as our vanguards as far as I'm aware, but still, yeah, they're still going to pack a bit of a punch. Ooh, like that, for example. Really? Oh, that grinds my gears. It grinds my gears right there, because literally, these guys have pretty slow two-handed swords, but I'm allowing myself to be outplayed by them, which is a bit disappointing, to say the least. So, yes, I will try to redeem myself by slaughtering these archers. Slightly. Slightly, yes. Well, at least we're very close by to Storm's End, so I should be able to go back and replenish my ranks reasonably easily. Obviously, the one thing that we have to think about is that Acorn Hall is so far away now that it's going to be quite difficult for us to reinforce our army from there. So I'm thinking once it has about 100 units in there, I might decide to transfer some of them out of there and see what we can do. But it's nice that we're actually further away from Acorn Hall now, because for a couple of episodes we've just been sort of focusing on that one area, and while it might be a really, really good thing to do when you first have that one fief, you know, to sort of consolidate and defend that area and make sure everything is as safe as it can be, being there for too long, it's not very fun for the most part. But anyway, there you go. We only lost 16. Oh, we only lost 16, but for the most part, look at that, 68 of our units were eliminated, and that is heavy. That is pretty heavy. Anyway, Gurnier was able to kill 4, Alan was able to kill 4, the other Alan was able to kill 1, so I guess that's okay. He did manage to escape, however, which is pretty sad to me, because I would have loved to have taken him prisoner. I think he would have definitely fetched a very high price, and I think that would be, well, I mean, you can see my money situation at the moment. Actually, my money in the treasury is pretty good. I have about 12,000 in there thanks to all of the ransoms, but in my actual coin purse at the moment, I am not doing very well. So anyway, let's have a look how much oh my. Yes, I really do not have a very large amount of people here, and I can barely upgrade our units. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to go in there in just a second and see what's going on, but I'm going to put some peasants in there, and we're going to have to go into the Lord's Hall. I was actually looking for a tournament just before I started the recording, and the tournament itself, yeah, it's being held in Lannisport and Ashford, and those are both enemy fiefs, so yes, that put paid to that, didn't it? Wow, we actually have 17,000 in here. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to withdraw 5,000, and that's going to have to do for a bit. What I'm thinking of doing is, in the next week, I might take out maybe another 5,000 and then take it to the Bravos Bank and put it in there, so that we manage our investments, I suppose, a bit wisely. I think that would help us out more than anything. But anyway, let's have a look. Are we actually... Ooh, we're not even recruiting anyone. Okay, let's get another 2 lots of defenders here. And I suppose now, at least, I can upgrade some of our forces. So... Shall I get a mounted Dragonstone Sergeant? Let's actually... Whoa, these guys are actually pretty good. Maybe I should have started leveling those up instead of the household guards, but they are so heavily armored, I just thought to myself, wow, they must be absolute beasts, surely. Anyway, I'm going to be resting here for some time, and then after that, we might try to take the Weeping Town. It really depends on what kind of layout it has. Alright, so we have arrived at the Weeping Town, and I waited just long enough for the automatic recruiting to sort of go through, if you know what I mean, and we now have a couple of extra man-at-arms, and hopefully that is going to help us out in terms of us surviving the onslaught that is no doubt going to befall us by the many, many archers that are in the garrison here. Now, the Weeping Town itself, I think, is actually pretty easy to take in terms of starving it out. I don't know whether you saw, but it only has 19 days remaining worth of food. And I was actually thinking partially that it might be a good idea to try and take it that way. But the problem with that is that I don't have enough food to sustain myself for that long. I think I have about 11 days worth or 10 days. So that would not really do much, which is a bit of a shame. But, well, I guess you can't really... Beggars can't be choosers, sort of thing. So I guess we have to just deal with what we've been dealt. And if we... Oh, Brynden, really? Brynden, the first one to go down... Okay, well, anyway, as I was saying, if we do end up taking too many casualties here, which is a massive probability, I mean, really, this is, even though it is a ladder town, it is very difficult due to the sheer volume of longbowmen, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to dent them, to be honest, because by the time we arrive, because the AI is kind of a bit weird when it comes to running along this predetermined path, it's really not helping, is it? Okay, so let's see what I can do here. Obviously my shield is going to take a bit of a battering, but hopefully I'll be able to... Okay, hopefully I'll be able to at least deal a little bit of damage to the archers, and maybe it's going to mean that I'll have a little bit more of an easy time getting inside once my units actually do get here. Doesn't seem like that's the case at the moment, however. Oh, he really reached me? Wow, that's crazy. Okay, come on, guys. Could you... Oh, you are just absolutely awful, aren't you? You're just walking along in a very single file, very polite line, aren't you? Just absolutely making it easy as nothing else for the opponent to eliminate you. It's actually making it a bit easier for me as well, because obviously now I'm going to get absolutely murdered, aren't I? Oh, you're leaving me alone. Okay, that's fantastic. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, just leave me alone. Leave me alone while I kill all your archers. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, okay. I was taunting them, but that was not a good idea. Okay, so let's try and... Oh! What? Where did he come from? That guy? He was waiting for me to come... He was waiting for me to come up there. He was. He was waiting for me. That is a vicious fellow, isn't it? Ah, very vicious. Anyway, this actually seems a little bit more viable. And I'm going to be retreating in just a second. I just want to see how well our units do without me there and see if maybe we can get onto the battlements. If we can maybe get onto the battlements, we might be able to inflict much more damage, but it seems like due to the fact that we have so many halberdiers, again, you know, that's maybe... Oh, it might be working, actually. It might be working. I mean, obviously, you know, the halberd in general is actually a pretty decent weapon for what it does. But the AI is just certainly not very good at using it, especially in sieges. So, yeah, that's partially my worry there. But it seems like we're doing a good job. Okay, so where is Gurnir? Is that Gurnir right there, or is that one of our household guards? I think that's one of our household guards, but yeah, look at all of the archers. This is going to be a bit of a bloodbath. I don't really want to retreat when we are almost to the end of our tether, if you know what I mean, because that's going to spell our doom and probably get us taken prisoner, which is certainly not something I want to have happen. So let's just see how much damage we're able to deal here, because it seems like we've already cleared out the archery nest on that side, and this side there are still huge amounts of them, of course, but once we get them in melee, they're going to fall very, very easily. Of course, new enemies are going to be arriving as well, so that is a big problem. We are receiving some reinforcements, but they're going to take so long to get here that it's really not going to make any difference whatsoever. So I think what I'm going to have to do is probably retreat before that happens, but I very much, very badly, just want our units to eliminate as many archers as possible, because that means we will not have to fight them in the next round whenever we decide to launch a siege against the Weeping Town again. And that's what we want to see. We want to see all of these archers on the floor, and I'm actually just hoping that they don't have more of them, because they probably do. I mean, they had about, I don't know, 150 of them, I think, so that is a bit worrisome, but as you can see, their reinforcements are mostly sergeants by the looks of things. They don't seem to have anything else. And it seems like we've killed all of their longbowmen, and those guys are just waiting for us to slaughter all of them. Well, that's pretty good. New enemies have arrived again. Okay, let's just go and have a quick look-see about, you know, what kind of units are actually spawning in here. Mostly melee units. Yeah, actually all melee units with the exception of this small pocket of archers, but these archers are obviously going to be pretty effective against the units that are coming through here, but as you can see, most of them do have shields, which is very good. So let's just go back to the front line here, see whether our forces are doing a nice flanking bit of action going on. Yeah, look at this, they're flanking from behind, and from the front we're getting a bunch of units in as well. Obviously we are now being flanked ourselves by the newly acquired reinforcements from our opponents, so obviously that is going to deal quite a lot of damage for us, which is not great. But we've eliminated quite a lot of units for not much work, which I'm very surprised about. But it seems like I'm going to have to retreat. I am going to have to retreat. Unfortunately, I very badly did not want to, because I very much thought that we had the capability to win that. But as you can see, we were almost out of troops. 94 of us were eliminated. We only killed 109? Okay. Wow. Alright, I'm a bit stunned, because I was literally thinking that we were quite close to achieving victory, but I suppose it doesn't really matter, because they only have about 80 or so, maybe 90 actually, 90 longbowmen remaining instead of the previous, I don't know. I mean, that was, oh, that was kind of sad. I actually thought that we did a lot better than we actually did. Oh well, never mind. In the next episode, we're probably going to launch our final assault against the Weeping Town. We'll probably be able to survive a little bit better this time as well, because of all the archers' deaths. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.